Did you get the audience? Thank you very much. All right. Good afternoon. Weddings are very joyful events, and most girls start to plan their wedding somewhere around the age of 5 or 6. Every girl dreams of a beautiful princess dress and beautiful flowers, and they pick their colors and they pick their music, and we have all of this to look forward to. However, what most children don't realize as they're dreaming of their wedding is that weddings are also very expensive. And according to the Knot.com, which is one of the go-to bridal resources, flowers can account for up to 80% of your wedding budget. Now, I got married in 2007, and I actually discovered that by doing your wedding flowers yourself, you can save almost 80% of the cost of your flowers. So with just a few simple tips and tricks, I can also teach you these money-saving ways of doing wedding flowers. There are 3 phases to doing your wedding flowers. There is the planning phase, the preparation phase, and then the creation phase. And so we're going to go through all of those today. The planning phase takes the most amount of time, and it's the most important to pay attention to the details on, because once you get that down and set, the other 2 just fall into place. So the first thing that you should do is decide what colors you want to use and what types of flowers you want to use. You need to make a list of how many bouquets, boutonnieres. You need to remember things like pew flowers and altar flowers. Just get a general list of how many bouquets you want to make, decide how big they want to be, and how many flowers you're going to need in each. Choosing your flowers, if you choose bigger flowers, you'll need less. They fill up more space. You can also get a really good effect by using kind of a monochromatic color palette by getting smaller filler flowers that are the same color as your larger flowers. Makes your bouquets look bigger. Once you've chose your flowers, then you need to decide where you're going to purchase them from. There are many wholesalers that can supply you with flowers. Costco is really good. My favorite happens to be Sam's Club, because they sell really big, really beautiful, really healthy, fresh flowers. There are also local wholesalers. I work with one out of Tampa quite a bit called Brides and Blooms, and they'll just ship them right to your door straight from the grower. So once you've decided what kind of flowers you want and what you're going to do with them, you need to plan for them to arrive. When flowers come straight from the grower, they come in gigantic boxes and they're all bunched up tight. So you need to have a place to put these flowers that is cool and dry. A lot of people think that they're going to put their flowers into the refrigerator, which is a very bad idea. Your flowers will come out looking wilted and dead, and you'll be devastated. I recommend keeping your flowers in the garage. I also recommend getting 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot or Lowe's, have them set out, fill them halfway with water. According to the Brooklyn Botanical Society, there are different recipes that you can use for flower food. They recommend sugar mixed with a couple other ingredients. Honestly, the best thing to do is just pour half a can of Sprite into your bucket. It gives it just enough sugar to keep those flowers happy. They open up beautifully. So when your flowers arrive, you need to unpack them. You need to cut off about 2 inches of the stem. Any leaves that are going to be in the water, you need to strip and just let them sit in their buckets. Flowers come from the wholesaler closed up tight. And so you need to allow at least 2 days in order for your flowers to open up and be pretty for your bouquets. You also need to allow time to arrange your flowers so that you're not doing your wedding bouquet on the night before your wedding. I recommend, if you're getting married on a Saturday, plan to have your flowers arrive on a Tuesday. That will give you plenty of time to let them open up, and it'll also give you enough time to arrange your flowers so that you're not stressed out before your wedding. All right, once your flowers begin to open up, you'll be able to tell exactly how many flowers you're going to need per bouquet. This starts your creation phase. I recommend that you lay out all of the flowers on the floor, grouped together how you're in what's going to go into one bouquet. The first bouquet is always going to be the hardest, so don't worry if it takes you a long time. Don't get stressed out. It's always going to be the hardest. Once you get that first bouquet to be the way you want it, all of the rest of them are going to fall into place. The pew bows will be very easy. The altar flowers will come together once you get that idea of how you want the flowers to be arranged next to each other. So I recommend that you start with the bridal party bouquet, then the boutonniere, then do the bride's bouquet. Do altar flowers after that, and then whatever you have left over, spread it out for centerpieces or anything else that you may need. When you're doing your bouquet, make sure that you have a vase ready to hold it. I recommend the flower boxes that come. They're about 4 feet long by maybe 12 inches wide. I like to cut a hole in the lid of that and slide the vase down in there, fill it with water. That way you have that sturdy base to transport it to wherever your ceremony is, and your bouquets will be secure. Also, you should pin any corsages or boutonnieres to that cardboard to prevent them from sliding around and breaking your flowers. Do not be afraid of arranging your bouquets. You can play with it as many times as you want. I recommend holding up the bouquet and looking at it from several different angles. Just remember that those photographers like to get down low and shoot up, or get up high and shoot down. So make sure you look at your bouquet from every angle. It is okay if there's one side that's not quite as pretty. Just make sure that that's the side that is to your stomach. So wedding flowers can be very stressful. I think that we've proven today that it's not as hard as it seems. And by following these 3 phases, the planning phase, the preparation phase, and the creation phase, you will be very successful. And there's tremendous satisfaction in being able to look at your wedding pictures and tell your friends, I did those myself, or my friends and I did that together. I think that it seems like a daunting task, but you don't have to worry about it. It's going to be beautiful, and if it's not perfect, nobody's going to notice because you're going to look perfect. So I think that more people should save money by doing their own wedding flowers. Any questions?